Hey guys, welcome back. So it's quite cool. Today I have the latest LBX Odin from Hyperfunction. So this it's been around almost 7 years, I believe, since I've actually done a last LBX model review because the thing is that it kind of just died off after Wars. The Wars actually was sort of like the third season of LBX, but it wasn't based on any games, so I believe that they just did like an anime series and then it kind of just died off. But the original game was actually pretty cool. It was sort of like a RPG done by Level 5 for Sony Vita, I believe. That's where I played it at, and afterwards it was actually ported onto Nintendo 3DS. So it's actually quite cool. To be honest, I actually started off my YouTube channel doing like reviews of like little history of what each of the models look like. So it was actually quite good. I actually collected most of around 95% of all the models before they became a bit ugly, to be honest. If you actually look at some of the model designs after W, which is season 2, it wasn't that good. That's when I kind of fell out from it. So anyway, during around the late model series, they started doing a series called Hyperfunction. So the cool part about Hyperfunction is that it is actually more expensive, but it's more of a realistic to what the LBX should be. So let's have a look here. So one main thing is that if you actually play the game or watch the anime, you'll notice that LBXs actually come in a little skeleton frame, and then you pull that open, and then there's actually a little chip. So that's where, in the lore wise, that's where all the LBX powers from, and then the people in the world setting will actually just connect body parts onto the LBX, sort of like to customize, so sort of like their Pokemon stuff. Odin is actually quite an iconic LBX. It is probably one of my favorite ones. It is actually the last form of the main character's LBX when Achilles got destroyed. So I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. So hyperfunction basically gives you the frame, and then you put the armor on. And the cool part about it is that a lot of the armor pieces is actually all plastic. It's actually not. There's minimal stickers, and that's what I like. And they actually give you different uh, hand pieces and stuff like that. And then this one actually, Odin actually transforms into a plane and stuff like that. So the box is actually pretty big. Um, it's a bit of a bummer because I think it was actually really well done. The older hyper functions were actually really good. They start off with, so they actually have probably only 5 or 6 hyper functions. There's actually not that much. So you have your normal Achilles, you Emperor and stuff like that. I don't recall me doing any reviews on that, so unfortunately, yeah, I actually did buy the models, but then at that time I think I stopped doing YouTube reviews for that. So anyway, this figure, someone actually told me about it. It was actually one of my viewers actually told me that this just got released. So thank you for letting me know, because I'll be honest with you, I actually didn't know that this was coming out. So after the release, 2 weeks later, I finally got my figure, and pretty much this is what it looks like. So the whole figure just brings back so much memories, eh? So it's actually pretty good. So like I said, in the past, what actually happens is that you can't actually pull off helmets and stuff like that. So in the lore of LBXs is that when you battle other people's LBX, if you destroy any of their parts, you can actually attach the arm and stuff like that into um to make a new mech and stuff. And then different arms, different body parts, they give different stats. So it was actually really cool. It was sort of like a build your own mech type of um game. And the previous Bandai kits is that they don't come with a skeletal frame. So it was actually like a whole arm you pull off and then you pop it on to another one, and then that was how you make it. But then for the hyper function, it does actually give you a skeleton frame. And as you can see here, a lot of there is a lot of the transparent parts here. There is no stickers at all. So in the past, these would have been stickers, but well, there is one inside there. But then the thing is that when you actually play around with the figure, it shouldn't come off. So it's actually pretty cool. the whole build is so for hyperfunction, the cool part is that all the different articulation is actually a lot more different to what the original one is. So, and they give you different arms and stuff like that. Overall, it is still 1-to-1 scale. So it is. Oh, so the only problem I have with Odin is that because of his wings and stuff like that, it is actually a bit more heavier. So sometimes it actually just falls off just like that. But you probably need to stand it around, and then it should be fine or not. So that is okay. So he's standing just like that. So overall, the whole build is actually very well done. All the plastic pieces is quite good. It does bring back a lot of memories. It has been around 7 years since I've actually built a plastic model kit. The cool part about this is that so it does actually come with his iconic weapon. It is a bit of a bummer, it doesn't actually come with a shield. But then again, the first version never came with a shield as well. You had to buy it from an extra pack, as I recall. So building the weapon is actually a lot more complex as well. There is actually a lot of different plastic parts that you actually pop in as well. And it's actually really cool. They still keep all the clear green plastic and stuff like that. So just like the old ones, you plug it in, you took it out, you pop it in the hand, and then you let them hold like that. And then you can play around with different poses and stuff like that. Yeah, with the weapon it actually adds in a bit more weight to it. So it is actually really, really cool. The the new part about this one is that because he can actually transform into a plane, I actually haven't actually looked into it, but it should be quite you don't have to pull apart anything except only the hands. The hands they come with like new parts where plug it in and then he transforms into a plane. Lastly, he does actually come with a quite cool stand. I think it is to off balance all the all the parts where I was complaining about. So it actually just slots in just like that. And then the cool part is that you can actually make that's let me have a look. So it should just slot in like that. Alright, so sorry. Let me just have a look. So yep. Slot in like that, and then you just have a quite a cool stand like that. So let's see if we can do that pose that he's doing. So you can see that with this part, the wings are actually quite cool. You can actually just lift it up and then put it down. So that is when Odin's iconic dash move in the game. So let's try to mimic that. So that. Right, so this part we have to open up, and then he can bend his arm back, leg back, and you can see the cool part is that all this is actually all individual as well. So when I built it, it was all individual. They're all articulated, and you can pop it in just like that. Wings can open a bit more, I believe. So like that. Like that. So yeah, you can see that compared to the old LBXs and stuff like that. Compared to the old LBX, there's a lot more freedom of movement that you can do with this figure. So the hyper functions are actually a really good collector piece if you actually really like LBXs. So it is a bit of a bummer. I think you can still pick up Achilles. You can still pick up I think the 5. So this is actually the 6th one. The first one I think was AX00, but I think he was like a pre-release, like a pre-order bonus. Then you have Achilles, you have Emperor, you have Lucifer, and then the last one should be Ifrit. But yeah, so those were the ones that they've done before they kind of discontinued with the whole LBX line. So I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of surprised that Bandai actually released another LBX kit. And does this mean that there's going to be a revival of the series? I hope so, actually, because I'd love to see. I remember in the past, some of my favorite ones were like Across, Force, and things, and all that. and it would actually be cool to, yeah, get it again. So anyway, this is pretty much my little review. So you can see that the stand is a bit wobbly, but then once you actually have it on, it's actually pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for watching again. And yep, sorry, I'll just remove that so you can actually have a look at the figure in its full glory. So yeah, this is LBX Odin from the Hyper Function series from Bandai. It was probably released in early. It was released probably around 2 weeks ago, so that would have been in March. And yeah, if you actually like it, go and order it. It actually isn't too expensive, and I definitely think it is worth buying if you like LBXs. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy.